Coach Prime is college football. Let me repeat myself. Coach Prime is college football. Deion Sanders is college football. And what I mean by that is wherever Deion goes, wherever influence Deion has, is going to trickle, is going to expand, it's going to gravitate towards all athletes, and is going to bring out the best out of all athletes. That's what I mean by Deion is college football. If you haven't heard by now, Deion Sanders has accepted the head coaching job of Colorado University. Now, personally, I didn't think he would go to Colorado, but maybe that their, sense of urgency, they knew what they wanted. They didn't make him jump through hoops. The program wanted him. Maybe that was a clear indicator that, that's where he wanted to go. And I'm pretty sure the bag made sense too for him in that aspect as well. And at Jackson, he was getting paid $300,000 a year. At Colorado now, he's getting paid $417,000 a month. His deal is $4.5 million per year to go coach Colorado. Now, Colorado hasn't been a good program in a long time. He comes from Jackson State, to where his record is 27-5. To where Deion has put HBCU programs on the forefront and has gotten plenty of media attention since his time at Jackson State. Deion brought in a 5-star recruit to Jackson State, Travis Hunter. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time that a 5-star recruit went to a HBCU, or basically a college that's not in the BCS, or more so the major football programs that's D1. Travis Hunter was the number 1 ranked corner in his class. I think the third best overall prospect in that class. Deion has done a lot more for HBCUs than anybody that I can think of, as far as bringing attention to it, highlighting the importance of it, bringing the coverage that it needed, the exposure. He has done all of that and won. So there is a narrative here that Deion sold out because he's not sticking around. He only, came for a couple of years and, is continuing to moving on. Let me say this. Your expectations for Deion Sanders is going to be completely different than Deion Sanders' expectations for Deion Sanders. I mean, we as people can have, a whole set of guidelines and thoughts and expectations for somebody else. But if they have their own path that they want to walk, then who gives us the right to criticize them, right? I guess, people want to see him build up Jackson State to the point to where they can compete with, powerhouses like Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that too would be fine and dandy, but that wasn't what he had in mind. I mean, when he tried to get into coaching, the big schools didn't want to reach out to him. They didn't. His job was Florida State. They passed on him, so Jackson State it is, and the rest has been history. So yeah, we cannot have expectations for somebody else if they don't, especially if they don't have the expectations. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you make that happen? It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to play an audio here of Deion at the press conference, if I can. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Here it goes.
What alarms me the most is just because I'm leaving Jackson, they think that I'm leaving African Americans. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm black. I can never leave who I am, what I am, and how I go about being that. So it is still my task to look in that locker room and see 65 to 70% of African American men trying to help them get to the next level, as well as all the others. My calling is for young men, young women, and people of all walks of life, all social climates, and all ethnicities. That's my calling. My calling is not built on a location. It's built on a destination. Now, that was good. You're supposed to clap for that. Darn it, that was good. You getting some of my good stuff. We just getting started. I already went in the bag, baby. Let's go.
So yeah. I mean, what Deion said is true. Yeah, just because he leaves Jackson State, he's not going to forget who he is. It doesn't work that way. Completely doesn't. So yeah, I am excited to see what Deion can do for Colorado here. I am excited to see what the future beholds. Colorado, like I mentioned, not a good team. Not a good team. Let me see. Their record this year. Let's see. Bam. They've won one game. They won one game this year. One. And so there is another clip here, if I can find it real quick, of him talking to the team. And it kept it 100, basically saying that it's going to be changes. And if your dog doesn't have a big enough bite, leave. Because he said he's coming with a lot of baggage. As in, he's bringing his players with him. The ones that can compete on this level, he's bringing with him. Travis Hunter, he's coming. Deion's son, he's coming. And anybody else, like I said, that can play on this level, they're coming. And not to mention the transfer portal. See, transfer portal is still fairly new. I know it's been around for a few years, but usually, well, not usually, but back then, if you transfer schools, you had to sit out a whole year and then play. Now, you can just move around like it's the NBA free agency within a little time frame. Go to the school and start day one. The portal is ridiculous. But the portal makes things interesting. And there are a lot of players that wants to play for Deion Sanders. I mean, a lot. A lot. So, it's going to be a floodgate of players coming in there. A whole new cast of characters that's coming to Colorado. Because there are some that, was hesitant to going to, Jackson State because it's HBCU. Maybe some of the players feel like it doesn't get enough exposure. And there's definitely not many, Travis Hunters out there that's willing to take that chance. But now knowing that he's at a Power 5 school, oh yeah, the guys that was hesitant anymore, oh man, it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so let's see if I can get this one to go. All right, so here's Deion talking to the Colorado football team.
Position's already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't going to be no more of a mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's going to be changed. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're going to get. Because the more you jump in, the more room we make. Because we bring kids. It wasn't about a bag. I got that. It was all about I'm coming. I'm flat out coming. This is real. This ain't no ESPN or this ain't one of the networks you just happen to see. No, I'm right in front of you. You know why? Because I'm coming. I'm coming to restore, to replace, to re-energize. Some of y'all that are salvageable. I'm not going to lie. Everybody that sit their butt in the seat ain't going to have a seat when we get back. But I'm coming. I started, and we're going to go dominate, then we're going to work. I'm coming to work and not to play. I'm coming to kill it and not to kick it. I'm coming. So you got to understand. So when I get back, ain't going to be no hats and no meetings. Ain't going to be no hoodies on and no meetings. Ain't going to be no phone. I wish you would bring a phone in my meeting. Ain't going to be no earrings in the meeting. Everybody's going to look like everybody. I'm coming. It's going to be a different place, a different feel, a different attitude, a different energy, a different work ethic, a different want, a different hunger, a different desire, a different need, a different capacity. It's going to be a different reach. I'm coming. See, by now you got to feel it. You can feel what I'm saying. You can feel where I'm coming from. And you know I ain't playing because I ain't got the credentials to back it up. I'm coming. And you don't hear me because it's going to be little silent little footsteps that you don't have to strain. But you don't know I'm coming. Just the sake of my voice, the commitment to excellence, that there's not going to be any more mediocrity, period. I'm coming. Some of y'all that really got it, that really want it, and really deserve it, and you got to play beside a pool that don't want it, don't deserve it, they don't even love it. I promise you, it's my job to get rid of it. I'm coming. I love everything.
All right, so that right there is just, in a nutshell, just letting them know I'm coming. Change is going to be made. And just outside looking in, I appreciate that. There's no sugarcoating. He's letting them know. Like I said, the ones that, their bite is as big as what they want with Deion, then hey, they're there. If you don't have the motivation, if you don't want to be great, if you don't want to fight for it, leave. Leave. So I love the fact that Colorado is giving him, I don't want to say full autonomy, but more so they let him be himself. That lets you know the program brought him in to be him. Not just to be a yes man, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have done that. But Colorado did not hesitate at all. It's not like they got to get, some schools probably need clearance, like Nebraska, right? Oklahoma, places like that. Ole Miss, probably Mississippi State. No, so yeah, I'm happy for Deion. I want to see how quickly he can turn Colorado around. And the crazy thing is, once USC and UCLA, leave the Pac-12 for the Big Ten, I mean, Colorado path to, the BCS playoffs and all that stuff, especially when it expands to 12 teams in about 2 years from now. Who knows? But yeah, I can't wait to see it. Happy for Coach Prime. Deion is by far my favorite corner of all time. And he was one of the first NFL players that actually, got me into the game of football. And I guess my love for the game of football. So definitely happy to see him succeed and move on to the next chapter and see if he can, overcome this obstacle here as well. It's not easy. But I feel like Deion is going to have the Nick Saban effect here for at least the next decade. How Nick Saban in Alabama was so dominant. Not saying Colorado's going to be dominant, but more so I feel like Deion, his influence, that part right there is going to be very dominant. That plus the transfer portal is about to be ridiculous. You heard it here first. All right, so a couple other things and we'll get off. Jimmy Garoppolo broke his foot. Sunday's game against the Dolphins. He's out for the year, so there's no Trey Lance, no Jimmy G. But there is Mr. Irrelevant. His last name is Purdy. I'm trying to remember his first name really quick. If I can get it. Brock Purdy. The last pick of the NFL draft is now the new starting quarterback of the 49ers. I do want to say this. I do not believe their Super Bowl chances are diminished. In fact, I feel like they can still be a legitimate Super Bowl team. Just because the parts around him are that good. The defense is the best in football. You have Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back that also plays wide receiver. You have Deebo Samuel, who's a wide receiver that can also play running back. You have a very physical tight end in George Kittle. You have an explosive wide receiver that gets one-on-one coverage now in Brandon Ayuk. You have a head coach who's been around the block, who's very innovative, who is very transparent, in Kyle Shanahan. See, you still have a very, very strong nucleus, even with Brock Purdy as your quarterback. Just so you know, the Niners are still legitimate. And I guess in other news in baseball, Justin Verlander just won a Cy Young, who Hall of Fame career. Just signed a 2-year deal with the New York Mets. 2 years, $86 million. That's insane. But nevertheless, that man's still getting paid. And he's taking his talents to Queens. So, that's pretty much it today. I know I didn't give the week 13 recap, but mainly I just wanted to talk about Deion Sanders today because his name been all over the news for the last almost a week now. So definitely wanted to let you all know where I stand. So continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio and No Offense Network. Follow your boy on social media at JGoodWithSports, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Thursday we'll break down some more stuff, including Thursday Night Football as we get closer to Christmas. But in the meantime, you all be safe, stay warm. Until next time, peace.